So Team USA took on Canada as an exhibition game in Vegas the other night. Started off relatively pretty close, and Team USA ended up, smacking that. You know what? Some standouts was obviously LeBron James with his facilitation. Tatum came in strong into the basket. Anthony Edwards definitely set the tone once he got subbed in for Devin Booker. And Steph looked great as well too. And I really like AD's play, but how y'all feeling about Team USA, from the early stages with the training camp, release footage, interviews, and what are your impressions on them moving forward between now and when it's all said and done when the Olympics start?
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I was
I hope
watching.
you say what I think you about. No, you ain't gonna say it. Go
I
ahead.
think,
All right. I was gonna say I was watching like the vast majority of that scrimmage yesterday or exhibition game versus Canada. I think, and not even talking about like player of all time, but I think LeBron James might be the greatest athlete ever. Like it is insane to see this 40-year-old 6'8" man running down the court, having like we've just never seen somebody at that height and that size be able to move like that. Like, and especially when we put him against international competition, where honestly, a lot of the time, because internationally it's a lot about skill. And of course they have bigger players. I'm not gonna say that they don't, but like a lot of their players aren't super bulky. And so like when you have a guy like him who not only is like physical but like cerebral, I just think that shit is insane. Like it was just insane every time he was on the court last night. And I think it's gonna look the same, when we actually get into Olympic play. Um, yeah. So not even like a GOAT debate, but just like out of the athletes that we've produced, I think that he has gotta be top two ever.
yeah, I put him at number one, and then I don't know if you're talking about athletes as far as just the NBA as a whole, or athletes as far as like
Just
major other major sports. I got Cristiano Ronaldo up there too.
That's real. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely did not even within one sport, just in general. Because like clearly
Mhm.
LeBron could have played not any sport, but he could have probably done anything, to be honest with you, if he actually put his mind to it. So
Yeah, he's physically gifted, and then he has strong habits that would translate, like you said, to any sport. So he'd be a top tier player in anything as well too. But it's nice seeing, Steph Curry and LeBron kind of link up right now because we're never going to get to see that in the regular season. So we definitely got to cherish that as well too. But this team has everything that they need as well too. I don't think they're going to have a definitive starting five. I think it's really going to come down to the matchups as well. Like obviously, like yesterday, they're still kind of experimenting to see who fits with what rotation. But for example, like yesterday, you started Drew to go alongside with Steph Curry, and that
and
was
two, I
go
think.
ahead.
I say and book two started, right?
And Book too, yeah, and that was kind of the match Shea and also Jamal Murray as well. So it's gonna be cool, man. I think they're gonna go undefeated and kind of
Easily.
like you said, what easily, yeah, easily undefeated. I think their best matchup is probably gonna be France or Canada. Obviously it's an exhibition game, so both teams have some things to clean up, but we got too much firepower, man. This is actually OD.
Yeah, and I think, especially I actually liked the lineup that we had yesterday. Only thing maybe I would replace.
I put Ant Man. I like Ant Man for the energizing. Ant Man, I think is gonna give me. Sorry to cut you off. He's gonna give me that D Wade feel. Like he probably not gonna start, but he'll come off the bench like D Wade in '08 and just cause hell.
Yeah, that's what I actually was gonna say. I would say the only change I would make for that lineup yesterday is I probably would replace Embiid with AD because I
I like
think
AD too.
AD is, as we always talk about, like AD can get you 25 on offense, but he is a defensive player. And I think, with all those other offensive players out there, you didn't really need Embiid. At least, in the starting lineup. I think it's great to have him coming off the bench or just have him on the roster in general. But I was gonna say that I saw a lot of people saying because of his performance, oh, Ant should be starting, and I'm like, to me, it's perfect to have him coming off the bench because now you have, potentially, he's not the best player, but playing like you have potentially somebody who's playing like the best player, and he comes off and just gives you energy, just gives you spark when the other team is putting their scrubs in or whatever, like nobody else is gonna have a six man like that. I think that's spectacular. So That team is really, really good, especially, they're gonna practice more, especially they got Kawhi bum ass out of there. And I think that they all fit together.
Yeah.
People talk why it did not
Woo!
make any, he's not a bum, but I'm saying it didn't
I
make
know,
any
I know.
sense for you to have just missed time in the end of the regular season and you barely could play in the playoffs. And now all
I
of a
said
sudden,
that
2 months
too.
later, you're about no, nigga. And he probably was gonna look the same way he looked in the playoffs, which was like 45% of himself. So that they literally said that they sent him home. It wasn't even really the Clippers. It was Team USA that was like, yeah, nigga, go home. So I think that they just did a really good job. People talk
Smart
about,
move.
the Jaylen Brown could have been added and other stuff like that, but I think that
I was
they
going
did
to ask you
a
that
great
too with
job.
Jaylen Brown.
I think they did a great job of picking the pieces. Like when you put a team together, it's not always just all the best players. The same reason why, like after watching that game, I agree with Halliburton over Brunson because
I
Brunson
was
is a
about to say
scoring
that too.
guard and you have plenty of scoring versus Halliburton was out there for just like 15 minutes and he was making all the right passes. He was doing
Great, great
exactly.
facilitator. Great.
Um, and like Derek White is a perfect, again, he's just a glue guy who doesn't need the ball. He's gonna play defense. He's gonna hit
He ain't
three.
even going to play. I mean,
Exactly.
he going to play when
Might
they
not
get blown
play,
out.
but that's also the thing. He'll be way more okay with not playing versus Jaylen
Yeah.
Brown gonna be not playing and tweeting at the same time. Like how y'all not going, like you've been doing the past couple of days. So
Do you think it was a political situation that he didn't? I mean, obviously he probably won't go and play, but do you think that was one of the reasons why he didn't play because of him coming out and supporting Kyrie through everything that kind of went on with Nike and everything?
I don't think so. I think it really was like, out of all the players that made it in the initial roster, I completely agreed with. Because again, people are trying to bring up he was finals MVP or he wasn't none of those when they made this roster, like those all just happened. And again, now, okay, a roster spot opens up, but yeah, I think that you're much better finding a good role player type person to fill that last spot who might not even play versus a guy who again needs the ball in his hands, might complain about not playing and just other stuff like that. Uh, yeah, I think
It's just
it's
crazy. Like everybody else is damn near. I think everybody's either a franchise player or all-star, all NBA. Then you got Derek White.
yeah. But it fits the mold. There usually always
Dude,
is someone like that, just like a really good role player, or sometimes it's the young guy or
shit, they
whatever.
had Michael Redd back in '08. Shit.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So who's
Terrence,
your starting? Who if you had like your ideal starting five? I know y'all niggas was killing me last time. But who's your starting five?
out of this roster,
Yeah.
Terrence.
Who
Oh,
your
you want me to
starting
go?
five? Yeah, Annie. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I like Steph at the one, and then
You mean Braun at the one? Stop it.
no, I'm
No,
good. I'm good with Bron at
I'm
the
just joking
four.
because he's a point guard for real, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have Bron at the four, 80 at the five, and then
They're gonna start
KD,
Kevin. Mm-hmm.
yeah, at the three, and then I
Book.
mean, I was gonna say I really do like that defensive presence in Drew in the second lineup or in the first lineup. I really do feel like kind of like how y'all was saying about um Derek White being that glue guy and not complaining about not getting shots. Like
Yeah.
I feel like there does need to be somebody in the lineup that's like focused on like I'm stopping this guy type
Mm-hmm.
shit. I really do like the point too about Ant being like the version of D Wade in 2012. I think that was, I mean, that's who he is. Tenacious off the bench. Tatum can't be the last off the bench picking 10. Fuck that nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my
I
But
hate him so much. He played so good yesterday too.
I mean that second unit, I mean, it's already showed itself, having the highest, I think, plus minus on the all of them having the highest plus minus amongst members of the
Second
team.
unit is
So I'm cool
all
with that.
two-way players, dog. They just come in and lock up
Mhm.
and then just get easy baskets out of transition.
Yeah. So then, I mean, I would just say switch AD for Embiid in that situation, and then shit, roll with that.
Yeah.
So the same, I mean, obviously Kawhi is the most injury prone motherfucker. We already got that established, but like the same way with how like they're like, yo, focus on y'all got Intuit Dome opening up. Like Carl said, you played a game and a half damn near in the playoffs, didn't finish out the season, knee swelling. Obviously, Joel Embiid played through injury, but like, do you think it would have been in his best interest to also kind of sit out as well too? I mean, if anything, he can just ride the bench if he needs to because you got Bam and AD. But do you think they should have sent him home too? And how do you feel with Embiid just becoming a U.S. citizen a year or two ago and playing for the United States?
Well, real quick, I want to give my starting five.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I would go with Drew, Steph, KD, who I was like, why is he on the bench? But I forgot he was injured. But I would go with Drew, Steph, KD, Tatum, and Anthony Davis.
So
Feel
Braun
like
don't start.
wait. Oh, hold on. Drew, Steph,
Stuff. Oh, now it's tough.
Tatum, Bron, Anthony Davis. Yeah, yeah. So I guess KD come off the bench.
I go with I'm not mad at that. I go with Steph. I like to play big, so the smallest thing on the court going to be Curry. So Steph, Tatum, Braun, KD, Anthony Davis. I'm cool with that.
Okay. They're gonna go crazy regardless.
Yeah, they go crazy regardless. And we got an easy group stage too.
What was your the question you had just asked?
Oh, basically like with Kawhi obviously not finishing out the season, in which the Clippers fan base had hoped and trying to basically, force his way into playing for the Olympics and then basically saying, take your ass home. Joel Embiid is also another player that's always injury prone as well, too. Do you think that Joel Embiid should be playing and should have been forced to go home? One, and then two, he's only been a naturalized citizen for I think a year or two. You think he should have played for the U.S.?
I think that one, he's not his injury wasn't as bad as Kawhi's, at least like the situation of it. Um, so I don't think it's one of those where he should have been sent home. Could he not have come? Yeah. And that would have made a lot of sense. I don't think anyone would have gotten mad at that. But I think with, him probably not playing a whole bunch and he'll be okay. But I think it's so crazy all the hate that he's been getting from it's one thing from other countries, but all the hate he's been getting from Americans about being on our team, as if when healthy, he's not one of the top 3 to 5 players in the league. Like, shouldn't it be like, hey, we want the best players on our team? Like, I don't care if he wasn't born here, he just got a citizen. Is he a citizen? Bet. And is he one of the best players in the league? Bet. What are we doing? I don't understand this. Just like Jose Alvarado or even any of these other NBA players that are playing for other national teams, 9 times out of 10, they weren't born there. They just weren't good enough to make our team. So they were like, hey, I have a family member who was Puerto Rican. Can I hop on? And nobody cares about that. So I don't see, I just don't see from them. I can understand other countries having some shit to say, but I don't understand Americans not wanting one of the best players in the league on our team. Weird.
Yeah. Like if I hypothetically in another world, even though I have dual citizenship with Liberia and the United States, I'm playing for the United States, man. Fuck all that. Unless, like you said, like Jose,
what are we doing?
I can't make it, then I'm going over there. But other than that, I'm good off that. We Team USA, baby. Like I said, we got the easiest stage. Team. We got the easiest group. We got Serbia, Puerto Rico, and I don't even know who this other team is. Oh, South Sudan. Ew. But the craziest group, the toughest one, is Group A. They got Australia, they got Greece, Canada, and Spain. So that's the death group right there. So I'm curious to see. I think it's. Do y'all know what the format looks like? Is it like the top 2 teams, or is it the top 3 teams that advance, or is it top 2 from each group and then there's a bye? Like, how does that shit work?
I'm not sure. I ain't been paying attention to the
It's
rules.
been a minute. It's been a minute. I mean, it's only every 4 years, right? So I'm curious to see. I thought it was gonna be more teams, only 12 teams. It would have been lit if it was more, but we'll be fine. We don't go undefeated.
Yeah, it's gonna be straight. I feel like we'll pack up everybody and then go to the Olympics and gold medal. It ain't gonna be that big a deal. Probably play Canada though.